New from Second Sight Films is this limited edition 4K set of High Tension, Alexander Aja's film, a film I discovered way back in the early noughties as Switchblade romance, and one that I rather enjoy. Before we get into the film itself, let's dive into a quick unboxing of this package. Here is the J card that surrounds the hard box of this one. Gives all the information of the goodies inside. Let's have a look at the hard box now. A little bit of a ding in the top corner, but not the end of the world. And the contents inside this. Set the box to the side here. Here is the disc case. Inside we have the Blu-ray on the left and we have the 4K disc on the right side here. That's the back image of this set. The book is a 70-page booklet with various articles inside it. Viva la Slasher being my favourite of the essays in this one. Plenty of things to go through, lots of images of the film as well within the booklet. There is also art cards in this set as well. Let's just run through them. Some images from the film and some of the new art that is included inside this set. So there's the package. Let's move on to the film itself. Released in 2003, directed by Alexander Aja, this is a film that lives up to its title of High Tension. We follow two people, Alexa and Marie, as they are travelling home to Alexa's parents to kind of stay visit. And these two just kind of mess about in the car, have some chit chat, we get to know them. They get to the house, they get settled in, and at night some crazed monster attacks and starts to murder everyone. And we find that Marie is then on a mission of survival throughout the rest of the film. Alex is taken hostage. She's trying to save her, following this madman who seems to be 2 steps ahead of her at almost every turn. It's a fairly simple premise, but there is a wonderful way of executing a lot of these sequences which creates a hell of a lot of suspense and tension. One of my favourite scenes of this one is the wonderful moment where Marie believes or knows that someone is in the house and is hurting people, and she starts to systematically remove all aspects of her being in that room, making the bed, cleaning out the bathroom, just doing all these kind of things while being under this kind of high stress situation. I see it's kind of the way it's cut as well, with the killer slowly moving through the house. It just creates that wonderful panic, tension filled moment in the film, and from then on it just continues this kind of high tension, high pace kind of element of the film as she is driven by survival and to help her friend. And a lot can be said about this film and the way it creates these sequences. I think they're expertly done. They build up huge amounts of suspense, tension. They are executed fantastically well, and the editing is tremendously well done, really building on the suspense. There is one huge aspect of this film which I will not get into just now, which has been the kind of bone of contention for a lot of people: the ending. And I believe that the ending does repurpose the movie a good chunk after the first watch. You know, it's one of those movies you watch your first way, second watch, you get a kind of different aspect of what's going on, and it doesn't entirely make sense a lot of the time. It's one of those movies that thinks it's being quite clever and smart, but it's not. There's a lot of elements in here that kind of undercut the ending. And if you're someone that needs to have everything nailed, logic, sorted in a kind of factual way, this ending's going to mess with you a little bit. If you're all about forgiving certain aspects and going with the mood and the atmosphere, then this movie builds up a great deal of that. It's a great horror movie, a great home invasion movie. It has aspects of kind of other horrors of the time, a little bit of Jeepers Creepers about it, a little bit of the home invasion aspect of it. But I feel for the most part, for 90% of the movie, it works, and it works in such an expert way. You see the touches that Aja has, a kind of understanding and knowledge of a sequence, creating these moments of pure suspense and terror that push you to the limit of comfortability. And I love when you've got a director that kind of knows how to push these sequences and make them work. This new transfer of high tension looks amazing. There is lots of sequences at night, and watching it with the HDR just helped me kind of see things I had missed previously, adding a little bit of nuance to a lot of the scenes. It's a wonderful transfer, one of the best that I've seen from Second Sight thus far. I really did enjoy it, especially as I kind of struggle sometimes with darker sequences, which this movie is a lot of. Let's dive into the extras and have a little look to see what they have in store for us. Here we are in the disc of High Tension. Let's go to the special features. You will see we've got an audio commentary with Dr. Lindsay Hallam. Then we have An Experiment in Suspense, an interview with director Alexandra Aja. This is 35 minutes 17 seconds, new conversation. He's talking about the low budget writing, getting the funding, and his previous movie, working with Luc Besson, and how it kind of changed the ending. It's a great talking head. The Man in the Shadows, an interview with Gregory Levasseur, which is 19 minutes 6 seconds. Again, touching on the kind of disappointing reaction to the first movie they worked on, working in Romania, and how that perfectly suited and helped with the budget. You know, just changing production from France to Romania afforded them an extra 10 days. Again, kind of working on homaging Maniac and some other films throughout it. The Darker the Better, interview with the cinematographer, is 17 minutes 56 seconds. Again, talking about low budget, working on the fly, dealing with stuff that they'd never dealt with before. The Great French Massacre, interview with special effects artist. This is 17 minutes 53 seconds. He kind of talks about being flattered by the guys kind of talking them into doing this movie, how it almost rejuvenated him with the youthful exuberance that they had working on this one. Talks a little bit about the neck prosthetic from that Great Effect, and one of the mistakes that he made in the film but managed to cover up, only to tell us all about it in this interview. Only the Brave, Alexandra Heller-Nicholas on High Tension, is 30 minutes 27. As with usual with this critic, this is a fantastic visual essay talking a lot about Slasher, the final girl, how High Tension kind of subverts that a lot by leading us down paths of familiar tropes and beats of other high profile slasher movies, but kind of changes things about in a surprising way, and almost leading a kind of comfortability and knowledge into this film with the tropes that we know about main characters and final girls before changing it. It's a great visual essay. We have an archival making of featurette, which is 38 minutes 5 seconds. It's pretty good. It's obviously not the best quality being shot at the time it was made, but there's lots of interesting kind of tidbits in amongst it, and you can just kind of see the excitement in making this film, which is great. We have an interview with Cécile de France, which is 27 minutes 57 seconds. She just talks about just knowing instantly she wanted to do it, read the script in 90 minutes, phoned the guys up, didn't even talk to her agent, just was like, yes, I'm in. Some other great stories in amongst there as well. We have an archive interview with Maïwen, which is 5 minutes 40 seconds. Again, just another kind of talking head. And finally, we have an interview with Philippe Nahon, which is 5 minutes 28 seconds. Again, just another talking head. It's short, it's to the point, it's interesting enough. High Tension is a white knuckle thrill ride and a fantastic transfer and a great package by Second Sight Films. Another one I would say definitely pick up if you liked Revenge or Frontiers, the kind of French extreme films. Then this one is one of the better ones in execution, I feel, in my eyes anyway. I would love to know your opinion of this film. If we're going to talk about the ending, put kind of spoiler tags so we don't waste it for anybody else. But I would love to know your opinion on that. Do you feel it derails the movie? Do you just not care about it because what comes before the sequences are so strong? Let me know in the comment box below, because I'm really interested in that. As always, there is more content up here. You can see more of my stuff if you're interested, and in the description box below are links to Patreon, membership program, and manvfilm.com, always in which you can support me. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time.